Joining me now, former NYPD detective Tom Ruskin. Tom, your thoughts. Let's get your after-action report here. San Bernardino police, we think one fugitive may be still at large, at least two down. The number is still uncertain. The number of murdered, 14, 17 wounded. The numbers may go higher, the police say.
Yeah, I think that we have to look at the excellent job that not only San Bernardino did, but all the local police departments did. What's amazing to me is that vehicle that they stopped and had to stop with firepower only got a mile plus away from the scene, which shows to me that the perimeter was locked down, that local police departments were looking for this vehicle, set up perimeters, and it may have kept them in the general area of the shooting.
Now, again, as we're watching officers deploying, there is the vehicle. This is after the shootout. And this with at least one, we're told perhaps two bodies in it. One has been removed. Subsequent to this, a tactical unit moved in, two Bearcats, which are armored vehicles, heavily armored vehicles, approaching that of an APC, armored personnel carriers. By the way, those likely coming from the military program for dispersing equipment to local law enforcement. I'm sorry, Tom?
This is something that the president came out with about 4 or 5 months ago and said after Ferguson and after the show of force in Ferguson, he was going to have his Justice Department and the military review the distribution of this equipment. This equipment may have saved officers' lives today. The fact that they can box that vehicle in earlier and use that vehicle as protection for the officers, making sure that if anyone was in the suspect vehicle with a detonation device, the officers approaching it were protected.
And what you're watching now on your screens at home are the two Bearcats moving front and rear to the vehicle, the disabled vehicle, locking it down, and with the high turret on the Bearcat, they can look down into the vehicle with visual contact to determine it. What you see there is the tactical unit, often accompanied by a robot that will go in also with extension arms to either probe or to retrieve, whether it be a weapon, whether it be one of the bodies. It's a remarkable display of police work and the technology they can bring to bear.
What you're seeing here is the mechanical vehicle going in and being able to pull the body, which it did, out of the vehicle to make sure that he wasn't wearing a vest.
Right.
Basically protecting not only the innocent civilians.
And was truly dead.
Correct.
Right.
And pull him out to render him aid if he was still alive, but to make sure that the officers were safe and that they weren't walking into another booby trap.
And to watch this unfold so quickly, because this began with suddenly a call over the scanners referring to a Mitsubishi, a 1987 pickup truck. The next thing we saw one of these armored vehicles, the Bearcats, go flying by with officers on the side rails at a high speed, flying over a railroad track and heading obviously to engage the vehicle that you see there with just shot to pieces. This all happened so quickly, and it was a frustrating 3.5 hours, I'm sure, for the police, far more than for those of us watching and worrying and wondering what in the world is driving this madness.